Hey, we're back. We're going to be looking at my second marijuana type stock. Again, this is a position that I'd like to add to the portfolio, uh, especially as marijuana becomes more uh, acceptable in the United States. This has potential to grow over the coming years, especially as more states uh, begin to legalize it, whether it's for medical purposes or recreationally. Because of those reasons, and because of the fact that it seems like every year or every other year, another state or two seems to adopt it for one of those purposes, or they adopt it for the medicinal part in a previous year, and now they're recreationalizing it in another year. Every time something like that happens, it adds more revenue potential to a company like this. And so I didn't basically I just picked two, and I'll show you the other one I chose if you didn't see one of my previous videos. But this one's called Curaleaf, and the ticker symbol is CURLF. I like this one because again, it seems like it's one of the bigger companies in America, so it has the best chance to continue to grow, and because it has such a good foothold on the market today, given the current situation. So hopefully, it can just build upon that going forward. Before I get too far, if you have any opinions on this stock in terms of growth or possible downtrends, a personal buy point that you have or a sell point, feel free to leave that in the comments below. I'd be very curious to see just other people's opinions on this one. Um, and so I guess the other thing that I want to add before I get into the technical analysis piece is, because this is a stock that's not uh, nationally recognized in terms of, marijuana is still nationally illegal. So because of that, you would have to buy this stock as an OTC, which is over the counter. And I believe the the kind of risk with a stock like this is that if all of a sudden the national government decided to completely ban it again from all states, you just can't do this, like sell it or anything. It's just 100% illegal again. The risk, of course, would be this stock would be delisted like instantly, and you would just lose whatever money you invested in it. Currently, I'm of the opinion that that just won't happen. I'm willing to take the risk. You know, again, I'm not dumping tons of money into it. I just don't have the money to do that. But at the same time, what money I do have, it's not like I'm throwing in all of it. But I would like to start to build out a position. And so let's get into it at this point. So right now we have the past 3 years. So this goes back to 2020. So it's been around for a while. So again, that's just kind of adding to my position of why would it just all of a sudden get delisted, you know? So let's just look at, we're just going to add in a couple lines. We did, whoops, that's the wrong type of line. But we're just adding in a couple lines here. Oh, I did it again. We want the horizontal line. We're adding in a couple lines here. This first black line, this is what I'm considering to be the new low for this one. And again, the thing with a stock like this, that it's so low, it's currently a $3 stock. It's, if you want to get technical, it's $3.79. But for me, I'm just rounding dollars. I'm not even rounding. I'm just going by the dollar figure, because obviously 379 is rounded to 4, but I'm just not even going to look at the cents. It's $3. So it's currently $3. Uh, the low is $3. So you can guess kind of what the buy point's going to be. It's going to be $3. Um, and so I'm just updating my spreadsheet off on the right, and I'll show it at the end. But again, so I've done a handful of what I would consider a hype type stock, and this falls in that category to me. And what I've noticed with a lot of these is they hit this peak, and this is for most companies, in fact. They've hit this peak, and then with the hype stocks in particular, it seems like they have this drastic decline, or, slow decline in this case, but it seems to more or less flatten out. And the reason why I've I'm seeing that trend with hype stocks, and I'm calling it a trend with hype stocks, is because other sectors that I'm kind of following, like there's this value stock, there's the FANG stocks, most of those seem to do the same pattern. They have this sharp rise, and then right around first quarter or second quarter 21, they hit this peak, they fall just like we're seeing here, but then in like that second quarter 22, it seems like they start to climb up, where that's not happening with these hype type stocks. They seem to just kind of flatten out, and they're just staying in this low period. So I think they'll hit a new cycle at some point, whether it's next year or later this year, and they'll start to climb again. But right now, that seems to be how they're all moving. And so, keeping that in mind, what we've how we've been handling that situation is we don't really look at the 3 year trend, because it's just, I'll draw in the other max line here we have at about $18. Um, it's actually 17 if I kind of do my method where I just chop off the cents without the rounding. So it's at $17. But because of how it's been flowing in the market over the past 3 years, and especially over the past year and some change, I just feel that it's best to just focus on the more recent, roughly, and I can zoom back out a little bit, but the more recent times of essentially 2022 to today. And so what we'll do, I'm actually going to start with the sell point, because that seems to just be easier, really. It seems like the sell point is about $7. And I can even bring this down just a little bit, and I hope you can kind of see why I chose that. It's once it broke the $7, it hit that mark and fell right back down. Uh, it did not want to go above that line. It hung out below that range for many months, and then more recently in December of last year, it came up to that mark again and shot right back down. So that seems to be a strong resistance line for our purposes today at $7. So that is my sell mark at 7. And again, I realize that's small dollar values, but because this stock is so cheap, that is still, you could get 100% return if you're able to buy it at some point in the threes, wait for it to get back up to the sevens. I mean, you just doubled up depending on how much you invested. I mean, that could be, it's just doubling whatever you put into it if you can wait it out and see the potential in it, which I feel like there is. So now we're just going to add in a, I want to add in a buy point. This one's kind of, I'm even going to zoom in a little bit more, because clearly I'm just focusing on roughly a 1 year period, from March of 22 to March of today. Um, in all honesty, whoops, I forgot I had this line. In all honesty, like, I want to put a line here, roughly. Um, I guess I'm just taking a second here to look. Let me make this green for us, just to show that it's the buy point. And again, what I'd like to do is even put in one more line that I call the fair value line. Like, ideally, I would want, I like, this is what I would do, to be truly honest. And the fact that it's so low, and it's been this low for 3 months. I don't know if that's just a really good deal for this long. Maybe that's the case. I mean, there was just so much volume. I mean, that's what these bars down here are. If you can see these, they're kind of faded, but so much activity all through 21 and early 22, and then all of a sudden, no activity. Every once in a while, you get a peak, which is like a slow day back in 21. So I'm not sure where the people went. I guess it's, um, I guess just thinking back to like some of the videos I've watched in the past of like people talking about the stock market as a whole and just the economy as a whole. I guess this is the period of when people just didn't have the money to invest anymore, something like that. And yeah, this feels right. It doesn't look right to me for some reason, just because it's been down here for so long. But I mean, if I look at it up to about mid December, this is proper. This is exactly how I I I want to draw it. But the fact that it's down here so low, um, by all means, share your opinions on this, like what you think. But either this is just a really good deal, and it's been a really good deal for a few months now, or I need to shift this down a lot. Like, I guess how I would do it for today is the buy point would be 3. We almost would have like a fair market value at 4, and then a sell point at also 4. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I really feel like this needs to be up here. I I like that line. I'd be curious to know what happened here in December. I don't know if they had the quarterly results come out then and it just went terribly and it just doesn't look like it's going to turn around soon, or I really have to look into this one. I think for now, uh, I am going to just keep these lines. Um, I'll keep. Jeez, the floor though. Huh. Like, this is what I originally had. I had this. I had it spread out like this. I'm gonna keep this as my, because this was what my gut said originally. I'll keep it as that. Let me know what you think about that. Um, but I'm gonna lock this one in for now. We'll see how I feel in the next couple weeks. But overall, I feel like this is a decent. No matter what, it's a decent time to buy. No matter where I put the bars, because the green line's either at like a $4, close to 5, or it's down right around where it's at about like 350. So either way, I feel like it's a good time to buy. That's how I feel. This red and blue line in terms of a sell point and a fair market value. Uh, Arguably, I could drop those lower, but this is what my gut's saying. Let me know what you think in the comments below if this needs to be adjusted sooner rather than later. But that's how I'm seeing it right now. So here's the spreadsheet, and I mentioned earlier, so there's 2 of these marijuana type plays that I'm doing. The first one is GTBIF. It's roughly twice the value. I don't think it's twice the market cap. Um, I'll definitely double check that, but in terms of stock price, it is twice the price. So depending on your funds, you might want to choose one over the other. I'm personally gonna pick both of these just to kind of play it safe. I know there's multiple companies out there, but these seem to be the 2 largest. So I want to put it on these 2 and see how it plays out over the next couple years. And but yeah, so this is what we were just looking at. Curaleaf. It's currently at $3. I'm saying buy it less than 4, and I would sell it at 7. high potential to double up on something like this. But that's how I see it. I'm just going to save that. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.